Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Today we'll be taking a look at Rich going up against Scan. They played a couple games, and because I just saw Rich get just completely slammed by Fantasy in the previous day, I was like, you know what, let's at least do some more Rich games. I gotta tell you, if you guys did not see Rich vs. Fantasy, go back and check it out. Seriously, if you clicked on this one, you missed one the previous day. Go back and check it out. Fantasy being back has me so excited. I literally, after casting that game, watched the replay a couple times, studied it, took notes, and then literally talked to my wife about the fact that Fantasy is back and active and how excited I was. And I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find someone who cares less about StarCraft than my wife. Like, I am just over the moon about it, man. I'm in such a good mood that we're in here casting a completely different game. I'm still talking about it. So, anyways, it is fantastic. I got tears in my eyes. It's just like, this is what it's all about, man. Someone bringing a completely different style back and doing their own thing, and it's so great. It's so great. You know, we have, I don't know, it's like a different line, a different evolutionary line or something, right? It's like we have all these different animals on Earth, and then you go down to the bottom of the ocean and you see like the tube worms, and you're like, what the hell is this? That's Fantasy staring. I love it. Okay, anyways, enough about that. We're gonna be taking a look at Scan versus Rich. You can see here we're on Dominator, and Rich is expanding, well, not expanding, but doing a forward gateway in front of his natural. He will expand here eventually, but this will be for some zealot pressure. We'll see if Scan scouts him first or second. It makes a huge difference on how cleanly this could be defended. So you will scout him second, which means there might be some potential for... Oh! Wait a minute. Is this just like a very fast goon? Yeah, it looks like it. I thought for sure this would be zealot pressure. It almost always is in this position. Now, the thing is, it does not have to be. My guess would be that he will get range, but I'm not 100% sure on it. We'll see. I'm interested. What is... What is this going to end up being? So a Scan hits his factory at a nice time. Has a second depot being made. Yeah, okay, that's actually how he got that out so well. This position is a little bit... I find it a little bit harder to mine quickly from than some of the other ones. But yeah, he actually... Looks like his Marine was not started until after the factory was. Which is kind of interesting. He's coming down now, and he will run into this. No Dragoon range, so I was wrong about that. Yeah, I'm like, I guess he just wants it as part of the wall, and he's just going to play a normal game, but he has that wall up. Okay, so he does a fake range there. I think you already know his Scan, that there's not going to be range. Okay, so he just wants this as part of his wall in. This is not... make some huge, like, oh wow, this is central to strategy or something. Like, he could have made the gate here and it doesn't change the game that much, but like maybe he'll be able to block vultures a little bit earlier, a little bit cleaner, something like that. Okay, so Scan right now goes 3 depot and bunker. So this is what I was talking about, where it matters for cleanliness how quickly he scouts him. So remember, Scan sent his SCV to the north. If he had sent his SCV in this direction and hit the gateway first, his command center would be about lined up with this Nexus. But instead, he actually had to play safe, and this is actually like a really big deal. Like, for instance, I saw Royal play a game here somewhat recently where the same thing happened to him, where he scouted in a certain direction, and he didn't scout Protoss first, and then he just went the 3 depot command center, and he went for an add-on instead of a vulture. And he almost lost the game because of that. Because he didn't play safe. Here you see Scan is playing safe. So because he scouted the gateway second and he saw this gateway here, he thought the same thing that I thought, where it's like, okay, he must have a zealot. So he added the 3rd depot, and he made the bunker, and he made 4 Marines. So that's like perfect safety. If Rich was trying to put pressure on, then it just gets destroyed. It doesn't do anything. Instead, what we have here is Scan's command center being a lot later, and Rich will pull ahead on workers a bit. Now, it's not the end of the world for Scan, But when you look at these two openers, there is not a question that Rich has a better overall opener. Now, Rich is going up into 3 Gateway Observer. This is his standard mode of play. And yeah, just a few mines being laid out here from Scan. He'll want to get one over at the 3rd base, maybe even possibly here. I actually am a big fan of this mine. We've seen Scan doing this a lot lately. This is an anti-shuttle mine. This is because if you send a shuttle in, these are not to block the expansion. These are literally to see the shuttle before it gets into your main base. Really, I love to see this from Scan. I tell you, like, seriously, I know he's my friend and everything, but, like, Scan is... like, he's going to be one of the very best players in the world. There's not a question. Like, he got ASL round of 16. You know, in season 20, which is already, like, amazing. But if you look at the way that he plays, there's a deep intelligence there. And he's really a jack of all trades. It's like, he doesn't really have a style. He does everything. He can do and he does everything. And just, like, look at the way he's thinking about this game. Like, he has speed pretty quickly. He's scouting all the positions. He has some mines in really good spots here to see incoming shuttles. He's blocking expansions with them as well. He's getting ridiculous amounts of intel. Ridiculous amounts of intel. Siege mode on the way. Starting to get his siege shanks. There's the sunken gas. There's the armory. Lots of dragoons here from fantasy. I mean, not from fantasy. My brain is still in fantasy. That's so funny. Oh my god. That's how much I'm thinking about fantasy. Is like I'm calling literally a Protoss player fantasy. And now someone in the comments will make a joke about how that wasn't fantasy. It was one of Rich's alts. Yeah, seriously. Okay, 3rd Nexus gets started at 7 minutes. Scan has had so much good intel. He sees that there's a huge amount of Dragoons. I think he knows exactly what's going on. I think he knows that it's 3-gate Observer, 3rd base, and he probably suspects Reaver will be the follow-up, because that's what Rich normally does. Now, well, it's a barcode, but the thing is, he's probably pretty sure it's Rich, is my guess. Brings back his 2 hurt vultures to get repaired. Love to see it. Academy gets started before a 3rd factory. You know, we've this is like a normal academy timing. We had a little period where a lot of players were going academy after the 5 factory, but I do like this because like we started seeing like things like carriers pop up a little bit more. Not that much, but there was a little spike in it like a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. And part of that is like if you slow things like academy, then it's easier to just sneak something out like carriers. So yeah, it gets very well-timed academy here. It's got a missile turret down here. Kind of interesting on the placement. Not sure. I'm not sure if SCVs can fit through there because a turret touching the bottom of a command center is tight. SCVs can't get through there. So I'm not 100% sure. The angle it's at, he might not be able to pull SCVs out this way. So I'm not sure. I don't like this. It's not that I'm not sure. I do not like this turret placement. There would have been better. IMO. Okay, so a couple more gates coming up. Speed here for the Reavers. This is such a sturdy way to play. You can really kind of tell who this is in a way. Like, not only does Rich always play like this, but this is like a very sturdy way to play. There's a reason why Rich is oftentimes the #1 Protoss on the ladder. And when you play like this, it's like there is nothing that could have been done yet to hurt him. He's been 100% bulletproof the entire game. There's literally no way in. He's got the pylon wall. He's got goons standing in the right positions. He got observers quickly. He's clearing the area around his base. He's got observer watching factory counts, things like that. Goliath range on the way right now. Just kind of getting everything he needs. Looks like Scan will be taking his additional base up here. And yeah, that's going to be right around 9 minutes and 30 seconds that he's going to start that, which that's pretty normal. I was talking very recently about what the timings are, and it's like about a 9:10-ish, I think I said, is pretty normal. I've even seen people going like 8:50-ish. That's like the really fast ones. But yeah, at 9:30 is just very good, especially when you look at everything he's got. He's already got mines laid. He's got missile turrets going up. He's got 5 factories. He's got all the upgrades for his... Holy shit. He's getting a 3rd add-on on 5 factories. What? What am I looking at? I'm getting chills right now. Oh my god. We're so blessed. There's so many StarCraft games that are really similar, falling into the same lines. And then you see stuff like this popping up, and it's like he literally went 3rd add-on off 5 factories. Now, he is taking a 3rd gas here, so he absolutely 100% can do that. And I have mentioned a lot lately about how the current metagame is skipping out on +2 attack, like skipping out on Science Facility for a very long time. And you can see that reflected here with the 3rd add-on. Now, he's actually not utilizing it right now. He's adding some vultures in there, and I think that's just to smooth out adding the factories. But he should get into triple siege tank production, or there's no reason to go for that add-on. But that is super fascinating. Super fascinating. You know, the power of pushes really does rely on siege tanks. If you're not going to rotate vultures a lot, like, if you rotate vultures all the time, if you just always have vultures going like sharp or something, right? Then 2 add-ons are going to be fine. Hold on. We actually have a drop coming in. The 2 add-ons are going to be fine in that type of case. Yeah, he's trying to kill that turret. Gotta watch to see if this is actually going to get any damage done. Okay, drops those 2 Reavers out. I'm not sure what he's going to get done. It feels like a pretty solid defense here from Scan, really. It's like, yeah, he kills a turret. He's going to kill a few vultures here and there. None of this matters too much. Okay, I want to talk about that, though. So, about 3 add-ons, right? So, like, one of the normal ways to build up really big tank counts. So, like, let's say that you don't send any units on the map and you just sit there and you want to max out quickly, okay? What you're going to end up with is, like, 12 tanks and, like, 3 groups of vultures. Because that's just kind of how that goes. So, one of the better ways to build your tank count when you have 2 add-ons for a while is you rotate vultures around, and you will lose some over time while you're dealing some damage or harassment, whatever it might be. And that supply, it's like you just keep building tanks and vultures out of your 2 add-ons and whatever other factories. And, you know, the vultures are getting reset, and you just keep making tanks. And over time, your tank count grows. And eventually you'd be like, oh, look at that, I have 20 tanks. That's sick. Okay, we can attack. Now, if you're not going to be rotating vultures as much, if you're just going to be sitting there, you could just go 3 add-on and just put more money into the siege tanks to get to that higher siege tank number and just not waste your vultures. Not that it's waste moving them around and getting things done. So, but yeah, just something to know. Okay, so Rich going to go ahead and fly in. There's a lot of missile turrets in here. There's really good mines set up. Okay, here's what the drop was really supposed to do, which is Psystorm, and he casts 0. Did he yes, he forgot Psystorm. Psystorm just got started. So, big mistake there from Rich. Spends, you know, 3 shuttles of units getting very little done. What did he kill there? Like, almost nothing. So, no Psystorm or anything. He's definitely in some trouble. Scan has an attack timing right now, if you ask me. He's got his 1-1 upgrades just now started his starport. He's been sitting here on 8 factories with 3 add-ons for quite some time. His siege tank count is ridiculous. Oh my god. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So he's already got 19 tanks at 13 minutes and 45 seconds. It's pretty wild. He's just popped 2 more. All right, 3 more. So he's literally at almost 2 groups of tanks at like 14 minutes. Dude, that's crazy. That is a lot of siege tanks. That is a serious amount of siege tanks. Holy crap. Okay, he's moving forward. Psystorm is going to be done before this next engage. It's about to finish. Rich is maxed. He's got an army that can fight, but if Scan moves his army correctly, he should be pretty good here. 2 Psystorms on each of these High Templars. Oh, looks like we have a little drop over here. Okay, sorry, missed that. He definitely killed quite a few SCVs with that drop. But that's going to be less Psystorms in this upcoming battle. Rich, by the way, getting 2-2. Scan almost done his science facility. Scan is down to 45 workers, so that's like really weak. That's like a 2 base all in at like, you know, 9 minutes. We're at 15 minutes into this game. So he sieges up his tanks. The High Templars mostly get picked off. There is another one over here. Some storms on that front line still. And the siege tank count is still super, super healthy. If Scan can get to this position, then he absolutely can win this game. But if Rich can continue to slow him and hold this position, it's going to become harder for Scan because his worker count is low. He doesn't have his economy really expanding at this moment. He's not making another command center or anything. I don't think he can either. I think he's pretty much all in. By no choice of his... Well, I mean, he could have chosen that, but when he lost all those SCVs, it was locked in. It's like, yeah, you are not going to really be able to turn this into anything else other than killing him right now. Not realistically. All right, here we go. Size Storm drops coming out. But, dude, the siege tank count is just so deep. Jeez. And he's got like a really nice amount of Goliaths to stop those shuttles from coming in and ruining his day as well. And that's what Rich is going to try to do. You can see he targets it down really quick. Nice unsiege there. Another little drop goes up. Okay, he's going to pop that siege tank. So the Reavers are actually going to really hurt everything. Scan moving forward right up into this area I was talking about. This is where you can definitely win the game. You stop rallying, you kill 2 Nexuses. And these fringe bases never really have anything. Like, okay, as 1 gateway for DTs, that is annoying, but doesn't matter all that much. Now, these Reavers have done a lot of damage. Only 37 SCVs remain. Realistically, I think he should make a Wraith here. I think 1 Wraith would be helpful to just kind of shut some of this down while he's cleaning everything up. All right, finally kills that Reaver. Moving forward to kill this Nexus as well. Probably just wants to lay a few mines there and then start cleaning everything up. You can see he's already sent a few siege tanks over to the side, targeting down that Nexus pretty quickly. Rich trying to get most of his probes out. Not sure if he's going to find anything to be able to do with those probes. Maybe he sends them up the map to mine from one of his other bases. Yeah, saturation there is less than optimal, so it would be a great place to get them to if he can do that. Yeah, going to be easier said than done, though. Losing quite a few of those on the way. So Scan is taking a 4th base now. Both sides very low on workers. So, like, he has the mass shuttle. Okay, let's talk about what Rich can do to win this game. So he has mass shuttle. I ran into a lot of mines there with those DTs. So the mass shuttle does help him to play around this type of push a little bit. He definitely needs to hurt the SCVs a bit, but the thing is, how does he ever kill the actual army? I think that's the trickiest part of it, because eventually you do need to kill Scan's army. It looks like he's going for a harassment-based victory here, which I understand. Like, it's kind of the one way that Scan is a little bit weak right now, is that economy. But he's going to be losing, like, all of his gates. Scan is pushing the main, which is kind of a rare thing to see, but it makes sense in this particular moment because Rich doesn't have another main, and Scan knows that, right? He's got a mine here, he's got a vulture here, so he knows that you basically just can't fit gateways anywhere. And if you can't fit gateways anywhere, like, that's the thing. It takes so long to kill a main like this that if Rich has another main, he just remakes all the gates here, and you're spending all this time, and he's mining a ton of resources. Here, it doesn't matter that Rich is mining a ton of resources because he can't even fit enough gateways to spend it, basically. Yeah, I don't see this ending well for our Protoss player. Yeah, GG is called. A fascinating game with the 3 add-on siege tank. That was really cool. That feels like... Okay, so it feels like actually just an evolution of what we've been seeing. The current metagame is to go, like, very late science facility and just make a ton of units on 1-1, right? Like, 3 base 1-1 push, basically. We're seeing basically all the top pros do that right now in Terran vs. Protoss. And this feels like the next level to it. It's one of those things where, you know, sometimes you'll see something and it seems so obvious. You're like, well, either why didn't I think of that, or did I already know that, or something like that. That's almost what this feels like, where it's like, yeah, I mean, if you're going to go for that, part of the reason why you get third add-on late normally is so that you can afford all the gas for like a science vessel, EMP, 2-1 upgrades, that type of thing, right? Like, so if you're going to have the extra gas anyways, just add the third add-on, be a little bit more conservative with your vultures, and you're going to have this insane siege tank count to do the push with. It seems like the proper evolution of the current metagame. Very, very cool from Scan. Let me know what you think about that, if you would agree with that assessment. But haven't really seen anything like this. Awesome. Loving it. Thank you for watching, guys. See you next time.